All right, BigBasket presents Decoding Nutrition with me, aka Tanmay. Today we have a very special episode. We have my old friend, Mr. Siddharth Warrier. Sid, welcome.
Thank you.
We are discussing why am I eating ice cream when I'm sad.
Great. It's so relatable. Everybody has been in that situation where you're stressed out and you reach out into the freezer and just grab an ice cream bowl and you're done.
Yeah. You know, people always ask me, Tanmay, how come you put on weight? Was it emotional eating? Just assuming that my whole childhood was traumatic and that's why I ate.
So the first thing you have to remember is that when we are born, food is the only reward that we have. Food is the only thing that we are living for. Food is the only association that we have with happiness or fulfillment. So जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तो when the mother feeds him or her, that primitive network is established right then. Just something in your mouth. And later on, it's not even about food. So that's why pacifiers work. Just as long as you're sucking your thumb, that becomes a offshoot of that same thing.
So are you telling me people who have oral fixation, like I'm always chewing on my t-shirt when I'm thinking or chewing on my pen, that is neurologically pleasing because of some connection to food when we were born?
Correct. So when you have something that you're playing with your lips, sometimes people pull their lips or bite their lips. Anything in this oral area stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. In English, in normal English, it calms you down. So when you're chewing something, it just calms you down. So a lot of the stress eating is not about the eating bit. It's actually the chewing bit. As long as you're chewing something, you are feeling better.
What is it called?
Parasympathetic.
Parasympathetic nervous system.
Yes. So in your body, there is like a seesaw. On the one side, there is sympathetic, which increases during stress. And on the other side, there is parasympathetic, which calms you down. Food tips the seesaw onto the parasympathetic side.
So this is why I'm comfort eating, which is if I have a stressful day, that pav bhaji at the end of the day makes me feel really good.
Correct.
And I'm assuming this is also something that goes back into your childhood, which is food that gave you joy as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, people always say maa ke haath ka khana. That's all. It's all related to your childhood, which is what gave you joy as a kid is what still calms you down.
Absolutely, because you associate food with comfort and you associate comfort with home. So whatever reminds you of home, technically, will give you that sense of safety. So you have food that you used to eat as a kid and you're happy. I have had people who rediscover Cerelac.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Which is, as adults, if you eat Cerelac, that gives you pleasure?
It's super weird, but they have... I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say, try it once.
To have Cerelac?
Have a spoon and see if something gets triggered.
Oh, man. I mean, Cerelac could make for an interesting dessert, right? Like you put in some raisins in it. Or
it's kind of like kheer in a way if you make it. But those taste buds that get... activated, it's really interesting.
So net people indulge in emotional eating because when we were born, our parasympathetic nervous system would feel calmed down or would be activated because you ate food.
Correct. So the simplest way to think of it is if there is any animal or any human being, they have a needle that is taking them towards food. And what is taking them towards food is hunger. So when they're hungry, they're stressed. The seesaw tips towards sympathetic. And then there is a drive to search for food. They look around. Where is their food? Where is their food? They will cry. It's a cry for help, a cry for food. As soon as they're given food, that seesaw tips to parasympathetic. Now they're calm. Now they're calm for a while until they're hungry again. And then again, it becomes sympathetic. This is the most simplest seesaw of every living thing.
So induced stress can lead to hunger?
Absolutely. Because when you are stressed, you may not really know the source of the stress. So if you are not mindful of it, you may feel that stress ho raha hai And what is the earliest stress response that you've learned?
Food eating.
So you might just resort to that.
हाँ, बचपन में बच्चा रो रहा है तो बच्चे को कुछ खिला दो.
Right.
बच्चा stops crying, which means that okay, if I'm feeling stressed, if I eat, my problems have gone away.
Which is interesting because even parents don't often know why is the kid crying. And so parents का भी एक response हो जाता है कि अच्छा जो भी हो चलो खाना खिला के देखते हैं, अगर बंद हो गया तो ठीक है, नहीं तो फिर और कारण ढूंढेंगे.
Interesting.
So we carry that response even as adults.
So if I'm a student and I'm feeling really stressed during exams, just periodic meals will help me calm down?
Yes, it actually will. Because too much of sympathetic is detrimental to focus, to attention. You can't focus if you're too stressed out. So having a little amount of food, just tipping it a little bit towards parasympathetic helps you calm down. Now you can work, now you can focus.
Interesting.
The problem is that you never eat a little. If you're too stressed out, you might eat so much that it completely shifts and the problem is still there, but now you are no longer interested in solving it. Which is why a lot of people go into that emotional eating cycle where they're stressed out, they eat, they feel like the problem is solved. It's actually not. And then when they realize that the problem is not solved, they get more stressed
out again.
And then they eat again. So that is that. It's like a spiral.
Oh, that's why people say that, oh, did you put on weight because you're an emotional eater? Because source of stress when you're overweight is the fact that you're overweight and all the problems that come with it. And to deal with it, you eat more food that makes you more overweight. So that's the spiral. Interesting. All right, Sid, that was a lot of super interesting stuff that we covered. We hope that some of this stuff was useful to you. If you watched the whole episode, do give Sid a follow on all his social media profiles. The names should be flashing on your screen right now. And if you enjoyed this, then do subscribe. There'll be more episodes about more things to do with food. Thank you so much, Sid, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
See you next time.